Hey everybody, quick update. My batteries are like 14%, it's about to die, and I still got a bunch of errands to run. So, and Donna's at home right now with one of the nurses, and I can just imagine what she's saying. I couldn't stay for the visit, I had to get things done. So, listen, there's going to be some changes possibly to my Facebook page. So, I have a friend who's a good friend of mine, a very devout Catholic, who's helping me manage and moderate and basically clean up my page and image and whatever. I'm going to be making some changes to my Facebook page. The goal is to go have another Facebook page, as well as possible website in the near future. We'll see. As well as, I don't know, maybe putting more stuff on YouTube, to kind of expand the ministry and have backups and stuff. This Facebook page has started off as a private page, just me and friends and family, and then I ended up using it for my acting and modeling career back in 2010. I was still doing all that stuff until 2014, and then at the same time it became more and more Catholic because I gave my life completely to Christ. Like, I really finally decided to become a devout Catholic and go all in for Christ around age 26, but it took until from 26 to 31 to really start getting, de-worldized and detached from the world and from sins, and I had a lot to learn and a lot of changes to make. So it took from age 26 to 31. But anyway, so this Facebook page, eventually the goal is to delete it or just set it to private, like only for just me, just for, to keep it as like, to have, because I have albums on it and stuff like that are not backed up yet and whatever. And just, but I'm going to go more professional. So I don't know if it's going to be, there might be two Facebook pages, it may be just a combined, I used to be an actor and a model, and then I went from actor and model to devout Catholic and lay Catholic evangelist. A lay evangelist, member of the laity. And so I wanted to show people the transition from where God took me from and to where he's brought me today. And so if I just forget all about the acting and modeling and who I used to be and where I came from, that I lose my whole testimony, my personal testimony. So this Facebook page has family albums, friend albums, basically my whole life on it, my personal life. And it's time for me to branch out and broaden my ministry. And so it needs to be less private and more public and reach more people, different platform. It needs to be cleaned up, okay? If I'm going to be doing a page specifically for Catholic lay evangelism, then maybe the acting and modeling stuff has no place on it anymore, or only as my testimony, like to show where I've come from. The private, personal, family photos and all that stuff doesn't need to be on the new page. Also, the next page is going to be just like this one's. Everything's public on this one already, so people don't need to add me as a friend because everything's public. I very, very, very little on my page up until today has been private. I've hide nothing from anybody, and I've always been an open book. However, it is also becoming a detriment to me, when it comes to trying to get employment. People look at my Facebook page and they see way too much and they're getting the wrong idea. I thought that by putting my resume online public that it would only help, but people don't look at it that way. They don't look at it as how much experience I have. They see how many jobs I've had and they use it against me. They also don't like that I was an actor and a model. A lot of employers. Some think it's cool. most worry that I'm still an actor and a model, which I'm not, and that I'm going to go and, quit the job again and go do a movie or something. So it makes me look unstable. Furthermore, there was problems at the last seminary when they found out, because I guess I didn't tell them, that I was an actor and a model in my youth. I don't know what the big deal is. St. Augustine was a worse sinner than me. So was St. Paul. But, this new modern era church, bunch of hypocrites, they like to throw everything in your face and dredge up the past and use everything against you to try to ruin a vocation and keep you out and disqualify you from the priesthood. So just to let you guys know, because it doesn't matter now, I was keeping a secret from everybody, even though I've been going through a lot of health issues, which is another issue, that is making it difficult to get back into seminary and to become a priest. I have been discerning with the Hartford Archdiocese, and the vocation director suddenly changed his mind all of a sudden within a week and decided that we are not going forward with it, and to try Norwich or try another state or whatever, but it's not going to happen with my own Hartford Archdiocese. They're not going to let me be a priest. This is the second time they have rejected me in my own state and my own archdiocese. Meanwhile, 68, not even joking, 68 other orders and seminaries were all about me joining them. However, I turned down most of them over the years, and we're going back to my 20s, late 20s, early 30s, throughout from like age 26 until 44 now. I'm almost 45 in this coming February. So many have wanted me, but most of them I turned down because I didn't feel called there. I went to do the come and sees, and I just didn't feel like that was the right place for me or the right order for me, or I didn't want to move out of country or move abroad, and I didn't want to move to certain states, and so whatever. I was being very picky, and now nobody wants me. Well, almost. Well, no, that's not true. Actually, a lot of them do want me, and every time I start the process, they're interested. But what's happening is they're very interested in having me come. I do the come and sees. They visit with me. They meet me. They love me. I pass their psych evals, all that stuff. And then they call the seminary in Wisconsin that I left. And whatever they're saying, because I still to this day have no idea what they're saying, and they won't tell me, but whatever they're saying, they're causing every place to drop me like a hot rock. I left on my own accord after terrible things happened to me there, but I chose to leave, and I let it go. I could have slapped a lawsuit on that seminary. I had plenty of proof and reason to do, but I just let it go for the sake of Christ and not to cause drama in the church. And now I'm starting to regret it because they are blacklisting me or blackballing me, and every time somebody calls to inquire about me, whatever they're saying about me is keeping me out of any other seminary or archdiocese. Now, this Hartford Archdiocese recently told me that they never even called the seminary, and they don't want to, and they're not going to. They don't care. I said, so what is disqualifying me? Well, it's not your age, believe it or not, and it's not your health, as bad as it is, believe it or not. What is it? Well, I prayed, and I really believe that Jesus, this is the vocation director, Father Federico, he said, I believe that Jesus is telling me that you're not called to the priesthood. And I'm like, are you sure Jesus is telling you that? Because his mother told me otherwise. And I actually, he doesn't know this, but I saw his mother and Jesus in person. And so I don't know where this guy's getting this from, but whatever. And so then the story changed when I told him that I had my priest's approval. Oh, I didn't know that. You didn't tell me that. He was going to give you letters of recommendation? Yeah, I just had lunch with him the other day. Oh, well, I made my decision. I'm like, so it's not going to change anything. Would it have changed anything? Well, maybe. No, probably not. Well, then why are you acting like it would have? Then he told me to go, why don't I try, if I want to be a priest, go join the SSPX, which I thought was very strange for, someone from our priest from the Hartford Archdiocese telling me to go to a place that's out of communion with Rome. And then he told me, why don't you try Norwich, which Norwich was interested in me about a year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago, and I never followed through with it. the vocation director and I spoke, and I didn't want to go to Norwich. I wanted to be in my own archdiocese. So he said he went from saying that he's absolutely positive that Jesus doesn't want me to be a priest. I don't have a call. Then he said, well, try Norwich or try all these other places. And I'll help you become a religious brother if you want me to help you get into a religious order or a cloistered order, as a brother or something, or a third order or whatever. But, it's a no-go as far as priesthood for our archdiocese. But then I'm like, but you just got through telling me you're not going to let me join our archdiocese. And then you told me that Jesus made it very clear to you that he doesn't want me to be a priest. And then you changed the story to, oh, well, you can try other archdioceses. And then I said, but you just told me Jesus doesn't want me to be a priest. So why should I go to another archdiocese then? That doesn't make any sense. If he doesn't want me to be a priest, then he doesn't want me to be a priest. So, well, he doesn't want you to be a priest here in this diocese. I'm like, so it's not that he's not calling me to the priesthood. He's not calling me here to this diocese. Yeah. I'm like, oh, now the story's changing again. Okay. I was really getting mad. I was getting really offended. Like, what do you think? I'm stupid? So then I said, on a side note, off the record, personal, what's your issue? Like, what else is keeping you from, thinking I have a vocation? He goes, well, I think you're manic depressant. And I'm like, I am not. I went through many psych evals. Okay, 3. Oh, come on, people. Many psych evals. Okay, just to get 3 to get into this last seminary, and other ones over the years when I was trying to apply to the police departments as a cop. Okay, so I've passed them all flying colors. Okay, there's nothing wrong with me mentally. He said, well, it's the way you talk really fast and this and that. I'm like, everybody says that about me. So what? You know why I do this? 1, I'm doing it now because I have a lot to say and my battery's about to die. 2, I'm in a rush all the time, and people around here in Connecticut, they have a short attention span, and you have 20 seconds to say what you want before they're on to something else, okay? Especially the priests. Every time I try to talk to a priest, they don't even give me the respect to stop and talk to me and look me in the eye. They talk to me while they're walking away as I'm talking to them all the time. So I'm following along like a puppy trying to talk to them to the back of their head. You know how rude that is? I'm a 45-year-old grown man, not a 5-year-old. But this is how I get treated by everybody. So, you know what? That's why I was doing that when I first met him in person over the weekend, a couple weekends ago, when he came asking for vocations. Does anybody want to, sign up to be a priest? And so I went and talked to him. And he said, oh, well, right off the bat, our first impression was that you were talking too fast. I'm like, then why did you bother telling me let's start meeting and talking and wanting me to drive up to Bloomfield, and you gave me a book on priesthood and all this stuff, and then we've been doing this, we started discerning, and then 2 weeks into it, you just dropped me like a hot rock. The week before you were all about it. Now all of a sudden you're not telling me somebody's poisoning my wells. Maybe he saw my Facebook page. I don't know. But then he said, and another thing is, to me, you don't have a call because of lack of life stability. And I'm like, what are you talking about, life stability? I've always had a job or a career. I've juggled 3 different careers actually at one time. I was in acting and modeling, and I was also doing law enforcement stuff. And what are you talking about? I've always had a job until this past year, medical leave. I've got a lot of experience. Like I've always paid my own, but what are you talking about, life stability? And he's like, I said, what do you want me to go and get a house and a career just to leave it again and go join seminary? Like, why would I want to go and get a house, get a mortgage, get a job, and then leave it all and sell it and go back to seminary? That doesn't make any sense. So right now, I'm perfect candidate because I'm not tied down. So that's what you want, someone who's not tied down. Not somebody who's tied down to mortgages and debts and loans and houses and kids and wives, and you can't do that. I'm free to go. He's like, yeah, well, in my opinion, you've had a lot of jobs. You've been rejected by your seminary. I'm like, I left the seminary. He's like, well, you left the seminary. There's been other, orders that you didn't, that rejected you. I'm like, yes, but most of them wanted me. I turned them down. I told you that. Yeah, well, and then he said, I'm like, everything you're telling me is actually not accurate at all. It's the opposite. It's wrong. He goes, well, I made my decision. I don't think you have life stability, and I don't think you have a call or whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, I know you're wrong, and whatever. So he's like, well, then go be a priest with the SSPX or somewhere else, but it's not going to happen here. He's like, if you want, I can help you in other ways, like try to get you in touch with other religious orders or cloisters or whatever, but not to be a priest. And I'm like, so you don't care about it. So there's nothing. It's not because of my past. It's not because of my health, and it's not because of my age. Okay. So anyway, so that's where we left off with that. And I'm still discerning with another order outside in another state far away. And I'm not going to tell anybody anything because I don't want anybody else poisoning my wells. So in the meantime, there's going to be changes to my Facebook. I've got somebody running my Facebook page for me and with me. We are working on websites. We are working on a bunch of different projects. And so stay tuned. I just want to let you know so that if one day my Facebook page is deleted, I didn't unfriend or delete you intentionally or for a malicious reason. I'm just cleaning up my page. There's a lot of people that are on my Facebook page. I don't even know you. I'm not friends with you. You just been on there for years. I'm probably going to just get rid of the page eventually, but before then, I might have the moderator unfriend anybody I'm not close to, because we have a lot of enemies out there spying and causing trouble, and also because my page is public, and the next page is going to be public. So nothing's private. Like, there's no need to be friends with me on my Facebook page in order to see my videos or read my posts or see my photos. Everything is still going to be public, so you don't really need to be friends with me on Facebook. I only want close family, cousins, and friends and church people on there. People that I've been talking to on a regular basis. Like, I have friends in Australia, Canada, Texas, California, whatever, Scotland. You people are going to stay, but because I talk to you ladies all the time. People in Florida, like, there's certain people. I know who my peeps are. You know what I mean? I know who my devoted Christians are. And then there's some people that I've been, in other words, if we don't talk privately or on the phone or in person, more than once a year or more than once every 10 years, then you're not going to stay on my page, most likely. You're going to have to follow me on the next page, is what I'm saying. I'm going to be posting links. When everything's ready, I'll let you all know, and you can leave this page and follow me, because this page won't be used anymore. It's going to be set to private for me to view only, and you guys are going to have to go to a new page, the new page, or the website that we might, start, or YouTube, or whatever platform we agree. I'm working with a really awesome person. I'm not going to mention their name for their sake, but this is actually kind of a really awesome person to know. They're really pretty well known in the Catholic Church. They're pretty, if you knew who it was, you'd be pretty amazed. So anyway, but you're not going to know because it doesn't matter. It's between me and them. And this person found me, and St. Joseph basically sent him. I think I was praying for St. Joseph to send me some help with this matter. And, because I'm not real tech savvy. And next thing you know, we met, and, the person's willing to help me. And he's really, really doing a lot for me for free. And, so I'm really, really, really eternally grateful to that, to God, and to this new friend of mine from another country, who's helping me. So with that said, if you see some changes on my Facebook page, that's why. Don't be alarmed. If the page disappears one day, I did not maliciously delete you or unfriend you or block you. It's because changes are being made, and the page might be shut down for a while, or it might be non-existent pretty soon when we get the other pages and websites up and running. Okay? So it's time to change and stir the pot. It's time to progress now. I've been stagnant for too long, and apparently I'm having trouble getting into seminaries and also into career opportunities because of the Facebook page that I have now. So we are going to clean it up and revise it and set things to private so that people can't find anything to have a problem with, because everybody seems to have a problem with everything nowadays. People need to mind their business, honestly, is what I think they should do, but they won't. So because their immaturity, I have to set things to private or revamp everything in my life to bend over backwards to accommodate everybody else if I want to be able to put food on my plate, if you know what I mean, or have a vocation in life. So, I don't compromise in life, but this isn't really compromising. I've been thinking about doing this for a while. Honestly, I was about to just delete all social media anyway. And by the way, I don't use Twitter or X or Instagram. They're on there, but I don't want them. I don't use them. And it's really driving me crazy. I'm trying to figure out how to delete them. I only have YouTube and Facebook, okay? And that's all I want right now until I have a personal website up soon. In the meantime, hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying now, and so you won't take it personal one day if Steve Donnell is missing off of Facebook. It's because this is all going on. So just be aware so that you know. All right. Thank you very much. I also have a lot of medical issues and stuff going on right now, and serious financial issues going on right now, and stuff going on with Donna right now, and it has been attack, and problem, and no money's been coming in for a long time, and, I don't ask for money, but now would be the time if anybody wanted to donate, because I'm seriously in trouble, and I really don't want to ask for it. But I've kind of been hinting to it for a while now without asking, and nothing's coming. I even put my P.O. box on the page, and nothing was sent. I haven't gotten help in quite a long time. Years. Around 2020, 2021, money came in, and that was it. And then somebody sent me maybe about a year ago. But that's about it. Maybe about 8-9 months ago, I got like $50 or whatever. Because God put it on someone's heart. I asked for help. I needed it, and He sent it. So when God's timing is always perfect. So if you guys feel like donating now, it would be a big help. I got bills to pay. Donna's, the TV broke, so I can't even get her a new TV. She wants a new flat screen TV that we can play our YouTube videos on and stuff. So she's going to need a Blu-ray and DVD combo DVD player, and also a new 30-inch flat screen that goes on top of the mantle. They broke, and now she has nothing to watch or do. So, and I wanted to buy her one for Christmas, but I don't have any money at all, and I don't know what I'm going to do. So that's it. That's everything in a nutshell. So God bless. Pray for me. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you on the flip side.